Senator from Massachusetts.
Madam President, are we in a quorum call? I am ready to work together with President Trump's team wherever we agree to help working families. But I'm also ready to fight like hell when Republicans pursue economic policies that load up the risk in our financial system or tax policies that mostly benefit billionaires. I will vote no on Mr. Bessent to be the next Secretary of the Treasury, and I urge my colleagues to do the same.
Madam President.
Mr. Bessent has already shown that he has little respect for congressional oversight. So I think that this nomination is badly flawed. I hope that the Senate won't accept it. I've been through a number of those, and starting with violating the policy of not paying your Medicare taxes, this nomination, in my view, is an exhibit of what you shouldn't have come before the floor of the United States Senate. And with that, Madam President, I yield the floor.
Mr. Cornyn. Ms. Cortez Masto.
Scott Bessent paid his taxes. I've heard it said twice on this floor that he did not pay his taxes. Experts have gone over his tax returns, and he has complied with standard prevailing interpretations of the tax code every time.
Mr. Risch, Ms. Rosen, Mr. Rounds, Mr. Sanders, Mr. Schatz, Mr. Schiff, Mr. Schmidt,
Mr. Bessent's candidacy ought to enjoy similar bipartisan support. And I encourage my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to join with me in confirming his nomination. He is the right person for this job, and I commend President Trump in making such an excellent selection.
The yeas are 68, the nays are 29. The confirmation is confirmed. Under the previous order, the motions to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will be immediately notified of the Senate's action.
Mr. President.
Senator from Wyoming.
Donald Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Thursday said the U.S. dollar should remain the world's dominant currency. The Federal Reserve should stay independent, and tougher sanctions should be imposed on Russian oil. But he said extending Trump's 2017 tax cuts was his top priority in testimony at a Senate Finance Committee confirmation hearing.
If we do not renew and extend, then we will be facing an economic calamity. We will see a gigantic middle-class tax increase.
The Trump tax cuts are due to expire at the end of this year. Bessent wants to make them permanent. The hedge fund manager and founder of Key Square Capital Management also voiced support for Trump's plans to impose steep tariffs in an exchange with Democratic Senator Ron Wyden.
I believe these tariffs, you can call it whatever you want in terms of trying to gussy it up. They're going to be paid for by our workers and small businesses.
Senator, I would respectfully disagree. And the history of tariffs and tariff theory, optimal tariff theory, does not support what you're saying.
Bessent argued that tariffs would lead China and others to cut prices to maintain market share, raise government revenues, and increase U.S. leverage in negotiations. When it comes to the Federal Reserve, Trump has said presidents should have a say over decisions it makes. But Bessent expressed a different view, at least when it comes to the interest rate decisions made by its Federal Open Market Committee, or FOMC.
I think on monetary policy decisions, the FOMC should be independent.
And despite Trump's longstanding complaints about a strong dollar, Bessent said it was critical to ensure the dollar remains the world's reserve currency.